Jamaica, the world record holders. They go in the second of the heats. First three from each of the two heats, plus two fastest losers. And this is a really, really brutal heat from which to qualify. Here's the official lineup then for the first of the two heats in the men's 4x1. Great Britain in 4, Japan the Olympic silver medalists 5, the United States, 7 times champions, are out in lane 8. This is an event they haven't won since 2007, and with the individual gold and silver medalists, the United States will want to make a statement. Turkey on the outside, and it's Guliev, the newly crowned world champion over 200 metres on anchor leg for them. Really experienced squad there for the United States. Gatlin down the back straight, the individual 100-metre champion. Coleman, the silver medalist, goes anchor. The Australians. Williams going anchor, going lead leg for them, and Browning trying to bring them home. They'll be coming under pressure from the Trinidadians on their inside. Keston Bledman, he's been around a while, lightning quick. Callender on the anchor leg. He was part of the Trinidadian silver medal winning quartet back in Berlin. That's how long he's been around. Don't rule out the Japanese. A fine silver medal last year in Rio. Cambridge anchor leg for them. Listen to this. Uja, Jamili, Talbot and Mitchell Blake carrying the hopes of a nation on their shoulders, and there isn't a single seat untaken in the stadium this morning. Barbados in 3, Cadogan, Gittens, Brathwaite and Burke. And on the inside, the Netherlands, anchored home by Burnett. Codrington has the honours of leading them out. Well, this is an absolutely loaded heat. There's Gatlin. He is waiting at the first changeover. That's Guliev. He's hoping to take the baton in contention for Turkey in lane 9 on the anchor leg. The first heat of the men's 4x1. Netherlands in 2, Barbados 3, Britain 4, Japan 5, Trinidad 6, Australia 7, USA 8, Turkey 9. First 3 win a place in tonight's big final. A long hold and the crowd burst into noise. Rogers has gone out well. Uja trying to break down the ground on Tada. Let's watch the changeovers. The United States is good, so's Britain's. Jamili down the back straight, but look at Justin Gatlin, the individual 100-metre champion. The Japanese are going well. Trinidad are not out of this yet either. The United States, Japan and Great Britain. Watch Guliev on the anchor leg for Turkey. And what a run this is turning out to be. Mitchell Blake with Coleman now coming through. Coleman, Mitchell Blake, the Japanese in 3rd, and Turkey will have to wait to see if they go through as fastest losers. 37.69. And with the naked eye, those changeovers looked good. And who would have put odds on Great Britain leading the Americans going in to that last changeover? A fine finish from Coleman. Good running from both quartets.
Do you want to say it, Peter? Because that's some fast times right there. That's a British record for the Great Britain and Northern Ireland team. Oh my gosh, 37.76. It's been recorrected to 37.76, so it's 3/100 shy, Rob. What a run by the British team, but what a run by the Americans. Absolutely flying.
Just keeping on the British chat for a moment, I watched their baton changes all around. I think the changeover between Jamili and Talbot's about the best I've ever seen.
Getting back to the changeovers, I watched the Americans. They were very cautious with all of their changeovers. They took it very easy and they made sure they got the baton. There's a bit of improvement from them as well coming the final.
Well, they'll stretch those marks out just a little bit more. But let's look at the replay here. As Rob said, Mike Rogers in lane number 8 was absolutely flying. He burnt up that first bend. Keep an eye on the changeovers, as Steve said, nice and safe for the Americans. The British team, Uja to Jamili. Adam Jamili frustrated not to be selected for the individual 200 metres here. Look at what he did down the back straight to the Japanese and the Trinidad and Tobago runners in front of him. The Japanese, as Rob said, were going well at this point, but it was the USA in 8. Danny Talbot, my gosh, 20.16 seconds. He's run a lifetime best here through the qualifying rounds of the 200. Hugged the line, didn't he? And absolutely wasted no ground. The shout was given out. Mitchell Blake. Coleman on the last leg, the individual 100-metre silver medalist. He looks over his shoulder in a minute, Nathaniel Mitchell Blake. If he'd have done that, they may have got the British record because they missed it by 3/100ths of a second, but wonderful qualifying from both of those teams. It really was good. And for Japan, they're automatically through as well in third with 38.21. Oh, how exciting are these relays?
I watched Gatlin's changeover. Really, it was unbelievable. He slowed down Gatlin into Lee. He was literally slowing down so that they would not lose the baton.
But that was sensible, really, because so often they have failed to make the finals or not got the baton round in the big showdown. The United States and Great Britain, fine qualification from both. The Japanese, who are on the podium in Rio, will be in the final. Turkey will have to wait and see after a good anchor leg from Guliev. They're in 4th. Trinidad also playing the waiting game in 5th.
Well, they've just watched that, haven't they? I mean, the Jamaican team have got to come out realising now what's ahead of them. I mean, it's not going to be an easy task.
Sorry, I'm laughing, Steve, because Hero the Hedgehog's got a toilet seat through on his head. Usain Bolt's walking past thinking it's you again. You're on your head in a headstand when I last walked past you. But they're coming out. Much fun.
Just looking at that Jamaican team, one thing we must bear in mind, I mean, we've got the great Bolt, of course, and there he is, just keeping an eye on what's happening in the last heat, listening very intently. But, you know, he's the only one on the Jamaican squad who's been part of their great series of teams over the last decade. There's a lot of newcomers there, and interesting to see how they fit in.
Well, he knows the noise. He gets that reception when he walks down the road, probably in Jamaica. But this is how they set themselves up. So what the athletes do, that piece of tape in Usain's and Gasper's, to be fair, there you go, little pigeon steps. These are worked out on the warm-up track through the training sessions of how many feet do you give the incoming runner. And normally maybe 18 to 20, 21. Then when a final comes, they'll stretch that mark out so that they get a little bit more acceleration into the changeover zone. The tape's put down and all the athletes will put themselves in position, and as soon as that's all they're focusing on, and as soon as the incoming runner comes in, they are gone. And then it's their responsibility to shout hand or whatever instruction they give, and that's when the hand goes back. So the markers have been put in place, the acceleration zone there, and Usain Bolt came out to a wonderful reception as expected.
Well, we'll say it again though, Kath, what responsibility on the other three Jamaicans to get that baton to Usain. You know, this is his last chance of actually being in the final, and if they don't make it...
This is his last day of running, because the final, if they get in, is later tonight, which makes us very excited to see him run, hopefully for a couple more times, but also very sad, because we don't want to lose him.
Oh, it's the end of an era without any shadow of a doubt. It is the last day of Usain Bolt's career. And, as has been clarified by Steve and Catherine, if for some weird reason the baton does not reach Usain Bolt, this will be it. His career will finish in this race. But of course, they are a fantastic team when it comes to the relays, and they will hope that they do give him the send-off he deserves in the final tonight.
Here's your lineup then for the second heat in the men's 4x100 metre relay. Antigua and Barbuda do not start in lane number 5. So, good qualification from the USA, from Great Britain, Northern Ireland and Japan. The Bahamas will start in lane number 9. Warren Fraser. All the way through, Hart, Stewart and Smith. 38.5 seconds is their national record. Just over 39 seconds this season. The French team. Jimmy Vico, 6th in the 100 metres, will go down the back straight. Christophe Lemaitre, the final leg for the French. Germany in 7. Ruth, Herring, Schmidt and Ehrer that are just seen their female counterparts running extremely well in the women's 4x100 metre relay. They'll start in 7. China in 6. Wu, Zhai, Su and Zhang in one of the centre lines. The People's Republic of China. Lane 5 is empty, which means you go to the final 3 teams. In lane 4 will be Cuba, Harlem Perez, Skyers, Carrero and Gasper. A national record bang on 38 seconds for the Cubans. The big roar for the Jamaicans in lane number 3. Tracy, Ford, Campbell and Bolt. No Johan Blake. Jamaica have won the last 4 World Championship gold medals. And completing the lineup, Canada in lane 2. Such success in the last couple of years, the Canadians. No Andre de Grasse due to injury, but Smelly, Brown, Rodney, and Joe Mel. That's the team for Canada.
On your mark.
In lane number 2, there's the man, Usain Bolt, waiting patiently for the baton. Canada, Jamaica, Cuba, People's Republic of China, Germany, France and Bahamas. The second heat in the men's 4x100 metre relay. First 3 guaranteed a place in the final. In the sunshine, on the top bend, Bolt waits. So a clean start. China going well in lane number 6, as is Jamaica with Tracy in lane number 3. So the Jamaicans, a good change, a solid change down the back straight. Germany going well in lane number 7, as are France in lane number 8. But Jamaica, the baton is handed over. Jamaica round the top bend, the Germans still going well, the French still going well. The final leg, he changes hands with the baton. It's France, it's China, it's Usain Bolt. Eases himself through. Jamaica qualified 37.95 seconds. His teammates did the job. They put him in the position. He did his usual change of hands with the baton and was off.
Good run from Jamaica. Tracy, Fort, Campbell did all they had to do to get this man the baton. Once he got it in his hands, he changed hands and then just literally tore down the straight. Loves it. He loves being in front of this crowd and they love him. And that really means a lot to Usain, I think, to make it through to the final tonight.
Of course, his final swan song will be the final event of the evening. So Jamaica, 37.95. Nice handshake there with China. They're automatically through as well, 38.20 seconds in 3rd. And Christophe Lemaitre, well, he held on in 2nd place for France with 38.03 seconds. But job done for
I think
the
he was
Jamaican
smiling
team.
there. There must have been a bit of tension, mustn't there, before that race for Usain. You know, will we get the baton round? Will I get through? You know, now he's made it. I think that's an awful lot of pressure off his shoulders. And tonight, I think, will be absolutely wonderful just to see him run. Even if they don't win the final, he's going to be there. He's going to be in front of the big crowd. That's all that matters.
And actually, watching that race, the Germans were having a good run up until the last leg, and their changeover from 3 to 4 completely ruled them out because they won't go through as fastest losers. It will be Turkey and Canada. Well, what a relief. I think we're all pleased. I know we're neutral here in the commentary box, but I think we're all pleased that we will indeed get to see the very last run of Usain Bolt in a global final later on this evening. So the Germans, 3rd from the left-hand side, are still in it at this stage, as the Jamaicans came sweeping through. Canadians have got a good quartet and started to get a little closer towards the end. Good running by the Chinese quartet. Watch the Germans, 2nd from the left-hand side, because the Bahamians were well out of it. It took a long time for that baton to get into his hand, but Usain Bolt coming through. Lemaitre ran quite well towards the outside for France, the Olympic bronze medalist over the 200 metres last year, but Bolt was cruising.
Well, we'll wait to see if the Jamaicans make any changes. There you go. It's so hard because you're told in sprint relays not to change the baton with the hand because of the risk of dropping it. But Usain Bolt can do what he likes, and he's the last leg. It doesn't make that much difference when you're on the last leg because you're not having to hand it over to somebody in the wrong hand, if that makes sense. That's happened once or twice in major championships. But look at that. He's nice, he's easy, he's controlled. He's just spoke to the crowd. He said, I'm blessed, I'm enjoying it, I'm absolutely loving it. He's got one race left until he hangs up his golden spikes. But it will be interesting. The Americans, the Jamaicans, the British team look good. That'll be a good final later.
I think from watching him wander around, I mean, yes, he's always easygoing. It's part of the reason why people love him so much. He strikes me as a man completely at ease with the decision that he's made. He's happy that he's bringing this chapter of his life to a close, and hopefully, from a Jamaican point of view, he will be back in the familiar territory, #1 spot on the podium. But it will be some final because the Americans and the Brits in the first heat both ran really, really well.
Well, that's the second changeover. As you say, Rob, Germany were going well, as were the French and the Chinese. But there you go. See, Usain Bolt, arm back, baton taken, Chinese, efficient. Christophe Lemaitre disappointed with his individual exploits, but dipped and got his French team into that final. Oh, the poor Germans, they had an absolute nightmare on the final leg. But in the sunshine, crowd pleaser, job done.
Good stuff. I mean, you know, we've got all the people that we want, or all the teams that we want, into that final. And it's good to see the British teams running so well as well, because, you know, just Jamaica against America, yes, that's good to see, but some other teams in the mix, that makes it even more exciting.
Well, Jamaica, as I said, have won the last 4 World Championship golds in this event. Will it be a 5th? And will it be the golden send-off for Usain Bolt? We'll see later, last event this evening. So, Jamaica through, along with France and the People's Republic of China. And indeed, it is Canada from that heat who pick up one of the non-automatic qualifying spots.
And also Jamaica, that's just the semi-finals. The final comes up tonight.
Well, we had a camera on the Cuban running in the last leg. Wow. This is a bird's eye view
of Usain Bolt's
like
back.
looking at Usain Bolt's back.
Wow, brilliant.
I feel like I've made their team.
But how quick was that, though, when you look at it from that angle? How quick was that? 9-10 seconds. It was absolutely amazing.
You can see why they have trouble getting the baton from one to another when you see it like that, can't you?
Wow, never seen that before in a World Championship. There you go. Well, just about pausing for breath here in the stadium. So we've done the men's and women's heats in the 4x1. And we will be shortly turning our attention to the 4x4. So, what a lineup and what a final in prospect. The United States looked pin sharp, so too Great Britain, very close to a national record. Jamaica, well, just about every neutral anywhere in the world will want to see Usain Bolt win gold in his very last race.